Hi guys, we're at the last video and now we're going to talk about something called keto adaptation, all right? You're going to be going from sugar burning to fat burning, okay? To do that, you're going to switch over, your cells, specifically something called the mitochondria, which is the energy factory, is going to start burning fat fuel. So it's going to no longer burn sugar fuel. There's a transition phase where your body's actually making new cellular machinery and enzymes and all these really cool things to run your body off this fat fuel. This is a much cleaner fuel. It's better. You're not going to experience the highs and lows of blood sugars anymore. There's a lot of benefits, okay? So I want to talk about the benefits. Number one, you're going to go through what's called autophagy. Autophagy is basically cellular recycling of old damaged cell parts. So when you combine the ketogenic diet with this next thing I'm going to talk about, which is intermittent fasting, which is part of it and it's essential, your cells are going to go into a condition of recycling, cleaning up garbage in the cell, cleaning up old viruses, bacteria, fungus, and mold. It's the most amazing thing, especially if you're interested in anti-aging. And you'll feel better too, so it's good for the immune system, especially your skin. You're going to look more youthful. That's called autophagy. Okay, this is a very good therapy for your health and longevity. It'll help you live longer. Not to mention the spike of growth hormone and all these other wonderful things. Okay, so that's one of the benefits. Number two, you're going to lose your belly. Okay, the best way to measure if you're in ketosis or not is with the tape measure around your midsection versus the scale, because you may be losing inches but not necessarily weight because you're gaining muscle. When you're into fat burning, you're going to basically preserve your proteins and you're going to get more protein retention, so you're going to get more muscle mass, and sometimes that's heavier, okay? And you may not actually lose as much weight in a given week, but you'll lose size. So always focus on the midsection, okay? So you're going to lose that. That's the big thing telling us that, wow, it's actually working, all right? Next benefit is your mood. You're going to have a much better mood. Think about all the symptoms with low blood sugar: anxiety, panic attack, depression, even bipolar, schizophrenia. All these mental conditions, honestly, are really just a low blood sugar problem. So I can't imagine the misdiagnosis of every single mood disorder when it's really, they're not checking for the blood sugar. When you actually fix the blood sugar situation, which is usually low blood sugar, it's like a pre-diabetic situation and insulin resistance, it just brings you up. You're going to feel just more up. Okay, so that's a huge benefit. Okay, next one is the cognitive function. This is another benefit which basically improves your memory. That's why there's a lot of studies now between Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, dementia, and ketosis and intermittent fasting, because it works. It's changing the fuel source over to fat fuel, which is ketones, which is way better for the brain than glucose, okay? So you're gonna have better cognitive functions: focus, concentration, and memory. So that's pretty cool. There's a lot of other benefits, but I just wanted to mention those. So that's why you need to do this. Now in the transition, it takes anywhere between 3 days to 2 weeks to maybe up to 4 or 5 or even 6 weeks to get fully adapted into this state right here, depending on how bad your diet has been for how many years and what kind of problem you really have internally with insulin resistance. To make this transition smooth and prevent any side effects, we recommend that you take more minerals and B vitamins, electrolytes, especially potassium, and B vitamins, okay? Because that's going to actually prevent a lot of issues, because the cells that are burning fat require a bit more minerals and B vitamins. Now, if you type on ketosis on the internet, you'll see a lot of things come up like keto flu, keto fatigue, keto rash, all these things. Those are just side effects because you don't have enough B vitamins or minerals. That's all that means, and the body's making some adjustments. So you can also, one of the other side effects is stones. So you might end up with a kidney stone if you're prone to it. It probably will not happen, but if you're prone to kidney stones, there's a possibility. And the remedy for that is potassium, okay, which is an alkalizing thing, because this stone is a uric acid stone. That's why sometimes you get gout as a side effect too. So, but if you're doing the minerals and you're doing all the vegetables, you should be fine. There's not going to be a problem. But if you do just straight fat and protein and not enough vegetables, that's when you have a problem. And that's why I recommend the minerals too, because guess where you get the minerals? In the vegetables, but sometimes you have to enhance it as well. Bad breath might occur if you're dumping a lot of fat through the system and you're not doing enough vegetables and you're not converting over 100%. Low blood sugar symptoms can happen, but it won't happen if you actually get enough of these minerals, because these minerals speed up the process of improving insulin resistance, and that actually helps the blood sugar situation right here. And the next thing I want to emphasize is you're not just using ketosis, you're using something called intermittent fasting, okay? This is a really powerful tool that can speed things up. Why is it valid? Because every time you eat, you trigger insulin. So the more times you eat, regardless of if it's good or not, you're going to stimulate insulin. So what we want to do is we want to start off a nice little gradual intermittent fasting. So you're going to start with 3 meals a day, okay? Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You might be doing snacks in between here and snacks at night. So we want to cut those out. We want to add a little more fat to the meal, okay, to allow you to go longer. So that's step 1. Get comfortable with that. And then the next stage is to start pushing your breakfast forward an hour, another hour. But if you wake up in the morning and you're not hungry, then don't eat. Wait until you're hungry. But what I'm talking about is if you are hungry, go ahead and eat, but then try to keep pushing it forward gradually over time. As you heal insulin resistance and you go to sleep at night, you're going to go through fasting. Your body's going to go through fasting. And there shouldn't be a reason that you're going to be that hungry in the morning right away if you don't have a blood sugar situation, but a lot of people do. So you're going to keep pushing it 1 hour ahead, until eventually there's no more breakfast. All you are ending up with is a lunch, okay, and a dinner. So let's say you're eating late. So maybe we push the dinner forward. What we want to do is we want to end up with a very shortened window of eating, about 4 hours. That's the ideal situation, okay? You have to work into it gradually over time. So as you do this, it'll happen, but sometimes it takes time. That gives us 20 hours of fasting. Talk about stimulating autophagy and growth hormone and fat burning. It's really going to help you with that, all right? So that's intermittent fasting, and that's how you want to do it. Now, there are a couple tools or resources that you can do to speed things up or to clarify things. You may want to consider getting my book. This is called The New Body Type Guide. There's 156 images. It's easy reading. There's a lot of data, all the details. A lot of cool chapters on things from a new exercise version, the new pleasure food recipes, and also how to get rid of stress, and also mesh into the body types with this whole program. But this actually comes along with it. This is the companion guide. And it's not lose weight to get healthy, it's get healthy to lose the weight. And this actually allows you to jump right in and learn how to do it within 45 minutes. So you read this in 45 minutes, and then this will fill in the details, okay? This is just kind of a helpful thing to get all the details. You can watch my videos and get this, maybe not the same data, but a lot of my information is in the videos, but this condenses it to make it easy. If you get this on the website, it's like this comes free, okay? But you can get these separately on Amazon if you want. If you're really serious about taking to the next level, you might want to consider getting some nutrients too. And let me just kind of cover that real fast. Electrolyte powder, okay? This has 1,000 milligrams of potassium citrate, all right? So when you buy potassium, it's hard to find something over 99 milligrams. So I put 1,000 in here. So it's all dissolvable in some water. And it also has all the other electrolytes too, like magnesium, chlorides, calcium, and they're all in a citrate form. It's not in a carbonate form, so it's easy to assimilate. It also has all the trace minerals. It doesn't have any maltodextrin or sugar. And it's a little pinch of stevia with no aftertaste, with a raspberry and lemon flavor. Mix it up, dissolve it, drink it down. A lot of reports increase energy, but this is a good way to get your minerals, okay? So you might want to consider it. This right here is nutritional yeast, okay? That is the source of the B vitamins that I recommend, because most B vitamins are synthetic, and you may want to try a natural version because it's much, much better. It's more of a food base. So this is a non-fortified version because most of the nutritional yeast out there come with synthetic vitamins, so they fortify it. This is unfortified, and I added some natural B12 to make it a complete B. It's great for stress and a lot of other things, but this would be a good source of B vitamins if you wanted a good source. And then lastly is the raw, organic, 100% organic certified wheatgrass juice powder. This is not a wheatgrass powder, it's a wheatgrass juice powder, which is super, super concentrated, grown on an ancient seedbed. I mean, the processing of this is quite amazing, but it's raw. 1 teaspoon is equal to about a whole tray of wheatgrass. So you put this in a little shaker bottle. You can even put it with electrolytes, drink it down in the morning. This is good because this provides a lot of additional vitamins and minerals and phytonutrients and vitamin A to make everything just work nicely. Also, some people that have bad breath, they take this and it helps because of the amounts of chlorophyll. I had this tested with 3 other companies that are top wheatgrass brands. This has significant more phytonutrients in carotenoids, chlorophyll, and zeaxanthin. Okay, so this is a high quality product. And you can actually just get them all in a kit. Okay, it's called a keto kit. So it's totally up to you. It's not mandatory, but it can help you with some of these symptoms and make things a little bit easier. So someone recently mentioned they agreed that getting the products would be a good thing and they wanted to get the products, but they couldn't afford them. But what I reminded them is you're doing intermittent fasting. So you're actually cutting out an entire meal, which basically equates to between $5 and $10 a day, which is $150 to $300 a day. So just by doing intermittent fasting, it could save you a lot more than what you're spending in any supplements. So recently a guy called in on my show and he was doing intermittent fasting at 1 meal a day. He was saving $600 a month. And he was so appreciative that I helped him not only save the money, but really get his body in really good shape. So intermittent fasting is the way to go, and that can actually help you with the cost of the program. All right, so thanks so much for watching. So the next step is just to start.